What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Six Gaming Podcast. Filling in for your host as always, it's Ron Clay. I guess Shosan at literally 10 minutes after 7, he said, I'm going to the movies. I'm like, really? You know what day it is? You know what time it is?
Oh, come on. You can't blame him. He has show right in his name. He has to go to the show.
But it's like there's some important movie going on or something.
Yeah, like something that...
I don't know. I mean, what's the big deal about it? There's been 7 others made of it, you know?
Yeah, and anyways, this one's a total ripoff of Sonic Forces. I mean, like, you got, like, this whole unrelated side plot. You got the legacy characters. You got the Resistance.
Sure, we'll go with that. But yeah. What's going on? This is Six Gaming Podcast, episode number 141. With me, I have a single co-host who is going to be both awesome and illustrious. But
no
today, he is also a world record holder.
Yep.
Mr. Solo Male, how's it going?
Yep, I better appreciate while I ask, because it's probably only going to last for a few weeks at this rate.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to go for Cadence. I'm not sure. You've already surpassed what I did pre-DLC.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, I only did like 54, I think it was, before I got a bullshit sprite spawn after I had placed the bomb and couldn't get out. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, so we're glad to have you guys with us.
Yeah, I'm multiple guys.
Yes. We have a little bit of stuff to cover now. Maybe not as much as the last couple of weeks. Of course, we got the holidays coming up. That's going to be in a week and change. I'm looking forward to having extra days off. I can tell you that much. But yeah, we are going to start off the show as we always do. And I just can't do it as enthusiastically as Show can, and it would probably hurt your ears anyway. This is news. We got news. Yes, good news, everyone. But yeah, we have a couple of articles on. One article on PUBG. Actually, we do have 2 articles on PUBG. So, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Well, first of all, I guess the good news is, thanks to this game, China may now have more Steam users than any other country, which is insane. And this just happened over the last year. This article says that Chinese readers account for 64% of Steam hardware survey respondents. Last year, that number was just 8%. That is a huge increase.
Like I was reading like Reddit thread on this, and I kind of like from looks of it, it kind of seems like PUBG is a video game that's actually changing the course of society in some way, you know, by with the whole one man on top thing, you know,
the battle royale style.
Yeah, just because it's normally like we mentioned earlier, it's normally a whole opposing concept to what
any of the other esports games, whether all team based stuff like that, or like in deathmatch. I mean, there's no eliminations in deathmatch. It's sure that's one person's going to win, but everyone plays the entire time. It's much different. So it's kind of neat. But now apparently what this is just silly. I mean, I look at this headline and I click on it and I read the article and it's like, what is wrong with us? PUBG removes visible genitalia.
I thought that was Watch Dogs.
And people are upset over this. I mean, who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. Some people get upset with games being neutered. I guess it's literal in this case.
Quite literal, yes. But yeah, apparently there's a whole bunch of support for and support against it. I mean, they're trying to get rid of saying that these bulges are adding to the sexy aspects and they don't want to have it shunned like that. And it's like, but I mean, people on the internet will find anything to argue about, and apparently this is it. So They're coming up on a full release soon as well, so keep that in mind. I mean, the game's still pre-release for now, so maybe they'll add it back. I don't know. It's kind of silly if you ask me. So that's that. Moving on, we have the whole bunch of interesting information on some games. First of all, did you hear about this Yodcast Jingle Jam?
I think so. I think I've heard about it.
That's the latest Humble Bundle, and basically, Yodcast is supporting this. And when you buy a $35 bundle, you get, oh my god, games. I mean, to be fair, I've heard of maybe 3 of these games.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of Rust. I've heard of Guild Wars. I've heard of
Guild Wars is in here. I didn't see that.
Chivalry. I've heard of Warhammer.
Where's Guild Wars? Oh yeah, Guild Wars 2, right there.
Gary's Mod, of course.
Okay, so we'll go with 4 games.
Star Trek Online, Lost Winds.
Yeah, I haven't heard of many of the games in here.
Headlander. Scanner Sombre.
Spectrum looks familiar. I feel I should know that game.
Yeah, and Neverwinters, and yeah, I've heard of a lot of these games actually.
Yeah, I mean there are definitely a lot of cool indie games in here to check out. And for the price, I mean, this very much reminds me of the Freedom Bundle back in February. So $35 for a bunch of cool games that you might end up playing. Who knows? Definitely worth checking out. It's over at humblebundle.com. Go ahead and check that out. Moving on, we had Street Fighter announce that they're going to, for their 30th anniversary, bundle 12 games into one release.
Wow.
How about that? Yeah, they're going to be releasing a whole bunch of their older games, including Street Fighter 2, Championship Edition, Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter 2, and Turbo.
Oh, that's just like the SNK bundle.
Yep, the Alpha 1, 2, and 3, Street Fighter 3, Second Impact, and Third Strike. I mean, this is a lot of games. It's pretty cool. So if you're a Street Fighter fan,
that's it.
A lot of games.
Also Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 2, 3, and Alpha, and it's 12 games.
Yep. And a few of them are going to feature online multiplayer as well, including Street Fighter 2, Turbo, Alpha 3, and Third Strike.
That's neat.
And it's kind of neat because these fighting games, the newer ones especially, have been starting to get an online following. And Street Fighter is one of the big franchises in this genre. So to see this getting this type of release is going to be really good for the series, I think. So,
and
very
for
cool.
Someone like me who's interested in like context for like how things led to the way they are, like I could get into the Street Fighter franchise this way, and then I can compare and contrast the differences between all the entries in the series all at once.
Yeah, that's very much true. I am not surprised that they're not bundling the movie with this. Yeah, that's
a good thing you can just watch the best parts on YouTube.
Jean-Claude Van Damme's one bad movie. Yeah. So meanwhile, we have Bungie. Of course, their latest Destiny 2 deal was that they had locked some content. If you did not get you remember how mad Veg was about this?
Oh wait, what was that?
Some content. If you didn't buy the DLC, the content that you already had access to, you couldn't access anymore. Some of it.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
And they're saying, "Yeah, we fucked up. Well, we've made some mistakes." And they're talking about their goals with their seasonal content, and they want to keep endgame content relevant by raising the associated power requirement. And that's how things got locked. So locking non-DLC owners out of activities is not really what they were intending. And and keep in mind, this game's only been out for a couple of months. And so it's pretty much like removing content immediately unless you buy the DLC.
Yeah.
So
what was even the point of having it in there before?
Exactly.
Because they thought they could get away with it.
Yep. So the Prestige Leviathan raid's getting dropped back down to power 300. Its rewards will match that power level, and all players basically regain access to it. Trials of the Nine also will now only require the Curse of Osiris when it features a Curse of Osiris map for all other players, or for all other weeks, it will be available to all players. So, that's a frequent event that they put on. And then the Prestige Nightfall remains a pinnacle activity at a new 330 power cap. It will require Curse of Osiris. And apparently the Prestige achievement will only reference the Prestige raid, not the Nightfall as well. So a bunch of changes to this. It just seems like they're for a company that's released two of these games now. You figure they would have figured stuff like this out the first time around, and especially considering that this game is sitting smack in the middle of BattleNet. And this is, even though it's not a Blizzard title, they might even consider this reflecting bad on that as well. So not a very good run for this. It's kind of funny because my wife talked about getting into this with me, and then she started reading about how badly the game was being managed. Is like, oh well, why even bother? Why bother getting into a game that we might end up liking, and then find out later the end game mechanics suck?
Huh.
So right there, they've lost some potential customers just because of how badly they're mismanaging their game. So, poor Bungie, I guess. Moving on, we also have. Did you catch any of the information from the? What was it? The what were they called? The Game Awards? What it's called?
Did that happen over a week ago?
Yeah, it was a while back. I'm surprised we completely missed this. One of them was the Trending Gamer Award, and the Trending Gamer Award was taken by a popular streamer that goes by Dr. Disrespect. And just this past week, Dr. Disrespect, who largely plays PUBG right now, has decided he's going to stop streaming for a bit. He's going to take a hiatus because he's confessed to some infidelity.
Awkward.
So he's got some awkward things to deal with. So, yeah. NetEase was supposed to sponsor something with him, and now they've basically backed that off. So he's not going to be participating in it anymore. So with his absence, the time slot is going to be replaced by a streamer that's soon to be announced. So they're going to be sponsoring someone else, just not this guy. So kind of that's not cool. But at least he's recognizing there's a problem and focusing on it. We'll see how he deals with that. And then PC Gamer came out with their Game of the Year award, and it's going to Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yeah, another game we can't afford.
Yeah, AAA games. But that's I haven't played it myself, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's a big RPG. They call it a gift to the fans of the genre. So it's kind of cool. So that will be their Game of the Year. And then let's see. You brought forward this thing about Oddworld. What's Oddworld about here?
So basically it's this old series for the PS1.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a spectacle platformer sort of thing where it uses like really high quality pre-rendered animation and pre-rendered backgrounds that were touched up by hand and stuff. And so it like finally got another entry just a few years ago called Oddworld New and Tasty.
Uh-huh.
So which basically is a remake of the first game in Unity. And so this is pretty much a port of that for mobile devices.
Oh, pretty neat. Any idea on the pricing of it? Is it gonna just be a one-time thing, or is it got microtransactions? Any idea? Or have they not announced that yet?
It looks like part of the story is that there are no in-app purchases.
That's good. That could be very good for them. So cool. And then the final thing, of course, we have the All-Star from League of Legends Esports. Chinese LPL took it home, beating LMS in their series. They had an 80-minute game in that, which is just, I don't know if you've played League of Legends before, but 80 minutes is just insane. You don't even see that in like low-level play. So very long game, very tense. And Uzi ended up beating out Bjergsen in the finals. So no NA winner at the All-Star game. Feels bad, man. It sucks to be in the NA. It does. What can I say? Well, that does it, unless you had anything else you wanted to present for news.
I can't really think of anything. So
if not, we're going to move on to the second half of the show. Also, Shosan's favorite half of the show. He has many favorite halves of the show, definitely more than two. This is the playlist, bitches. And
the playlist.
Yes. And let's talk about what you've been doing first, because we alluded to the world record at the top of the hour.
Yep.
And go ahead. I mean, how'd that come about?
So
you weren't even aiming for number one.
Yeah, I wasn't. Like I decided that I wanted to do since I'd reinstalled, I pretty much solved like what to do with random crashing after you leave the game on for too long. I just had to reinstall the game, and basically that just solved it immediately. Like it still crashed from time to time after runs, but I never lost progress, like I said. So I decided that since I solved that, I try to get cadence. I would try to get a top 10 cadence streak, and I was thinking I could aim for like 30 to get like the top 5 spot. But then I just kept going because I realized I was doing a pretty good job of not dying compared to before. And because like before it took me effort to get to 10. So I just kept going, and then I realized I was getting close to the world record, and I try not to expect it, because I know I get super disappointed if I missed it, but I kept at it, and before I knew it, I did it.
Yeah, how many did you end up with? So 76?
Yeah, I died from being in it's like zone 1. There's Red Dragon, horizontal space. I had a Warhammer, so I couldn't Dragon Dance. So yeah, I missed an opportunity to do an instant kill with the coins because I panicked. So.
You missed how my number 9 Bard run ended.
Mighty number 9?
No, my number 9 Bard run.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I had just finished a run and started the next run, opened up a
Minotaur
secret room, and next thing I know, I'm hearing the noise that Bard makes when he dies, and I see a Minotaur just kind of like confused on the ground. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, that happened.
Be a bit more careful with walls.
I mean, it was literally like 5 or 6 beats. 5 or 6 movements into the game number 20, and of course, frickin' Bulletnik sitting in my chat, like laughing at me.
I gotta mention something like just a few runs before I got the world record. So I like was in zone 1, and then I like dug into the wall like straight down, and then there's a Minotaur right there, and then like my finger was poised over the down key, but then I miraculously shifted my finger over to the right key and moved out of the way in the beat that I had to survive.
Because you're playing Cadence, which you have a limited amount of time to move.
Yep.
I'm currently working on Bard, which is unlimited time to move, but I'm like going so fast that I didn't even notice it until it happened. I was like, oh no. So yeah, definitely need to be a lot more careful with the surprise Minotaurs. Yeah. So anything else you've been up to?
Well, let's see. I'm going to try to get back into streaming normally. I'm just gonna, just do whatever comes to mind, and I think I might try streaming some Quake Champions, see how that goes.
Neat. And
oh yeah, and also I finished. I finally got to the end of my project, so and I got this huge breakthrough as well, where like I actually found out about I actually discovered the actual MIDI files for the songs, where it's like the like, and also this sound font that they use, so I can actually recreate it from the ground up and adjust instruments and their volume, and also encode it in a way that isn't like doesn't have any audio corruption, and even replace instruments if I think that something else would sound better. So
Right.
it's quite the development.
That's kind of neat.
It's so much that potential that I don't even think I can handle it because I don't have any like paid software or training for this.
Oh yeah, but yeah, having that's really cool. So yeah, good luck. Hope that takes off.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. As for me, like I mean, we've been talking about Necrodancer. I also was attempting to get some PBs earlier this week. Ended up just frustrating myself on Arya. I'm like, Arya is like my worst speedrun character. She's like in the 80s in terms of rank. Everything else is better than 50. So I gave up on her. Ended up getting Dorian PB, and I got a pretty good. Was it Diamond? I think it was Diamond. I got a Diamond PB, and the best part of that is I beat Bullet Nick by less than a second. It's pretty cool. So pretty fun to watch. And the other game I've really been playing is more Cactus. Yeah, last night I actually knocked out 2 more achievements. I only have 1 left. I got to level 25 on the Infinity Drive, and I also got the 1,000 chain because somebody told me, hey, there's an option where you can set it as if you were playing with 4 people, but you're playing by yourself, and that quadruples the number of enemies. And there's one level that's really easy that has a lot of enemies. And wow, well, why didn't I do this before? Easy. So the last thing I need to do is S plus 3 levels, and I'm done with the achievements. I'm considering trying to get into speedrunning the game, but I need to get a lot better before I do that for reals. So there's that. And aside from that, there's really not a whole lot I've been doing. I played like a little Diablo, but not much at all. I really do want to get back into doing a little bit of that at some point. So, but yeah, that just about does it.
I also want to mention that when I started streaming FTL again, when I started streaming FTL again, there was only one person that ended up appearing in chat, but guess who it was?
Who?
Scott Onesie Wilson. So that's
yeah, Mr. Onesie.
Yeah. So yeah, when he tuned in, he said, "I'm at work, save me."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Nice.
And also, he ended up giving me some advice on like how to do a crew kill with this 2-man ship, where where one wasn't what the enemy only had two crew members, a Mantis and an NG. They board with Mantis, so he recommended I bring the Mantis down to low health and then let him teleport back. And like I messed it up along the way. I damaged the ship before I understood what he was saying, but basically, what he was telling me to do was to get the Mantis down to low health, and the enemy had a clone bay and not a med bay. So so the Mantis would just stick around the ship, and the NG would board. And then once the NG boarded, all I would need to do is kill the NG, then destroy the clone bay immediately, and then get a crew kill on Mantis. So that would have been neat if I did that.
Yeah, that game is surprisingly deep. I actually played it once, and I made it to the second phase of the flagship fight, and I got completely wrecked. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I think that the flagship fight is an example of a final boss that's so absurdly impossible and such a stupidly high difficulty leap that I actually really enjoy, just because of how it's really like, how do I say this? It's like just looking at it for the first time just basically just blows you back in your chair, like, whoa, that thing is terrifying, because you know what those weapons can be capable of, and you know that if it has cloaking, then you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
And just the fact that like it gets super flashy with like all the drones, and like with the power surge attack in the third phase, and like the fact that it also tests all aspects of your ship, like including your tolerance for defensive ship in the first phase, like or drones, like including a boarding drone in the second phase, and like a massive amount of borders and mind control in the third phase, alongside the inability to quick kill the ship because it has the giant Zoltan shield. Like the back, like all that stuff combined, I just really think it's a great encounter. Like unlike something like the loot, you know.
Yeah, it's a
similar jump in difficulty, but it's really great.
Yeah, it tests what you already know. It doesn't really put you into a brand new situation. So yeah, it's a fun game. It's been a long time since I played it. So but yeah, that's gonna do it for the playlist. Now we're gonna move on to the third half of the show. It's gonna kind of be a little quick this week since it's just the two of us, and plus I'm like making an idea on the fly here. But yeah, this is the roundtable, 6 gaming roundtable. We're gonna ask ourselves a question, and maybe you can chime in as well. I'm gonna ask a very simple question. This might be one we've asked in the past, but I don't know if you've necessarily been here for it. So with the holidays coming around, what game would you wish for to be made a sequel of?
Well, I'm already getting Terraria Otherworlds, so
you're getting what?
There's already going to be Terraria Otherworlds, so let's see.
Oh yeah, right. Because that's already coming out. But we're talking about something that hasn't been announced yet.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because there's like a lot of things that I'm holding an answer because I don't really have a good one at the moment. But yeah, there's like so many franchises that I'd like to see a game a sequel to, and like in the past when I've had one, it sucked. And the current title that's coming out in the Descent series, I think is going to be pretty bad, and that kind of sucks because that would be like my first choice. But I think if I had one, maybe it would be Sublevel Zero. They've talked about potentially doing a what's it called? Project something. I forget the name of it, but there's a name for it. But yeah, so I mean,
oh yeah, Portal 3. Good point.
Portal 3.
Yeah, I kind of want to say it, but I didn't consider it to be like my number one choice.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that would be my number one choice. And besides, Valve is afraid of the number 3. So there's that.
That's a joke that I haven't heard before.
Well, I mean, they are. I mean, Half-Life, Portal 2.5, that would work. That would work. They'd be okay with that. So the problem is that would just be an expansion to Portal 2. Pretty much. But yeah, I think the big one for me would be like a Sublevel Zero. Because they have such a good formula, but the content is so limited.
Okay, I think I thought of something that I want a sequel of. I want the Devil May Cry series to get another entry. I think I know that Bayonetta technically is the successor to it, but I really think that the Devil May Cry series still had elements to it that really seemed to work. You know, like with its presentation. You know, that like Bayonetta kind of diverts from. It's kind of hard to explain, and I don't really know what I'm talking about all that much because I haven't really gotten into the series yet. But yeah, like basically, like I kind of like I just oh yeah, and Quake 1. That's another one. Like a game like Quake 1 where like the biggest priority is just the fluid and fast movement and like being able to keep up the pace if you're good enough, you know. Stuff like
along
that.
those lines, Unreal, not the tournament, the actual game Unreal.
Yeah, it's basically what I'm saying. You know, like the single player versions of games that got only multiplayer games.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, of course, I know a lot of people whose answer might be, "Oh, Warcraft 4, bring the RTS back," stuff like that. A lot of people have been talking about, are they ever going to do a League of Legends RPG? Stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can do this. There's rumors of Overwatch 2 already. Are you kidding me? That would be insane if they did that. But I mean, Diablo 4 has been a rumor for who knows how long for all the Blizzard games there. I don't want to see another Call of Duty, even though
Yeah, we will.
You know why we will?
Why?
Is because Call of Duty World War II is the best-selling game of 2017.
Well, that's not surprising.
It's only been out for a month.
Still not surprising.
I mean, I don't know. Rumors of a Descent 5 before Descent 4 comes out. Well, the latest Descent is not Descent 4; it's a prequel. But yeah, I'm not looking. I'm starting to really not look forward to the Descent Underground, because that's I will see what the single player is like in that. I think that's what's going to drive people to play it or not. We'll see if they can deliver on their single player promise. But basically, from their multiplayer perspective, I am not holding my breath. Their multiplayer is god awful. I mean, I can't play it. But yeah, Sport Journey, I don't acknowledge that game. I don't blame you.
And also, I want to mention, like, I was talking about Dark Souls 1 earlier. Like, I want a game similar to Dark Souls that really embraces the whole, like, heavy, like, weighty, careful, like, that really tries to bring out the best parts of Dark Souls 1, basically. That's what I'm saying. Like, on not just presentation-wise, but gameplay-wise.
True. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
And also Demon Souls, not to mention, like, that game has some of the best examples of what you need to do with like with that kind of that genre in the first place, like with its like with the level design and like some of the boss encounters were so like just so incredible conceptually. Like Tower Knight, it's like Tower Knight was amazing overall, and like that's like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Probably the main probably one of the main games from like the 80s/90s that I would like to see remade. Well, not remade, but there apparently was to be a sequel to Marble Madness that was developed but never released.
Yeah, what if it was developed by Sega? Then they would turn it into Sonic Labyrinth 2.
Nope. It was made in 91, but never actually released. It would be cool to see that come out because Marble Madness was pretty iconic at the time. So it went from a 2-person to a 3-person run, which could be interesting. So yeah, kind of cool. There's a lot of games that don't need sequels too, so maybe that's something we cover another time. But yeah, unless you have anything else,
I guess that's about it.
I think we're done. So thank you guys for watching the Six Gaming Podcast. I hope you'll visit our website over at six.gg. That's six.gg. You can find out all about us, including our YouTube podcast archive. And you can get a link to our Discord server where we have a bot that doesn't suck.
Yay.
Even though you called it broken. Why did you call it broken?
Because I never live it down. I never let them live it down, I mean.
But the bot's fine.
But it was broken, so I'm going to freaking tease them for it.
No, it's not broken now. It's fine. The bot is not on fire because the bot is on my computer, and my computer is not on fire.
I'll have to take a look inside of it.
It's open. The case is open. It's fine.
You need to look closer.
What's this smoke? Hold on. There's some smoke. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. Solo, do you have anything that you'd like to say before we take off for the day?
I'd really appreciate if you took a look at the rebalancing project that I just finished. I posted it in the Six Gaming Discord, and I'll also make sure to post it as a channel update as well to make sure that's visible.
Yeah, that's another reason for you guys to subscribe to the Six Gaming Discord. I counted, by the way. You are my 39th Discord.
What?
39th Discord.
That's a lot of Discord.
There's a lot of fucking Discord channels. And I look at them as like there's maybe like one or two that I could like leave, but don't really want to because there might be something important in there at some point. I don't know. But yeah, I have a lot of Discords. But anyway. But yeah, that'll do it. I don't know. I might be doing a little bit of streaming later. I'm gonna not be doing Deathless till next weekend though.
I'll probably sneak in another.
If I try Deathless during the week and I get a run going and it crashes overnight, I'm just gonna rage. So I'm not even gonna let it get there. So
I think I might actually try to sneak in my first Quake Champions stream tonight because I feel like it. You know.
Yep. Well, that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Until then, Solo, take it away.
Crap.